Well, I'm delighted to be here with Rupert Firbank, who is the Commercial Director for Global Travel Retail for Accolade Wines. Obviously wine very close to my heart, but even closer now to the heart of the Moodie report and the opportunity to develop wine in global travel retail. Before we get on to that, just you're traveling an awful lot. Tell me some of the brands or companies that you're seeing on your travels that really impressed you.
I think it's if I look around and see people who are doing stuff that's a bit eye-catching and interesting, I came from the spirits world, so I quite often look at the spirits, and I like the stuff that the Hendrick's guys do on the gins. It's a bit different, it's a bit quirky. Wine's incredibly traditional mostly, and so looking for something that's a bit odd that stands out for me a bit.
Yeah. No, it's a great brand, Hendrick's, and I'm actually up there at 3 o'clock and doing some form of interactive activity, I think. But look, coming closer to home, it's fantastic to see you here and marketing Accolade Wines. Tell us a little bit about your plans for the business and some of the activities that you're doing to drive traveller engagement.
Well, we see it as I think it's it's in the process of having its time. I think wine's been a long time a neglected category, and I think it's. You obviously know this very well from where you've come from, but it seems to be gathering a momentum now, and we have a portfolio that spans multi-countries of origin, multiple price points, and we want to take those to all channels of travel retail. It's not just about the airports, which are obviously visible for us, and that's important for us, but airlines, ferries, cruise ships, ports, all of those things are important, and we're building the portfolio and making the wines accessible to this channel specifically to make sure we can go to all of those areas and actually address all the consumers. Eric said something on Monday at the conference about we're a luxury industry, but actually we shouldn't forget some of the more accessible price points that some people need or want to buy at, and not just target the top end. So we hope now we can address that across the price ladders within some of the brands that we've got.
Right. And obviously at the moment finding retailers receptive to that approach and to the idea of building wine?
Yes, I think increasingly I think some slower to come to the party than others, but you notice some of the shops that have opened, and they've opened with a wine fixture that's one size, and 3 months later it's 3 or 4 times the size as they realise that people are buying more wine. So we're seeing that. We're not seeing quite so much willingness to put branding in and to do some of the stuff that the spirits and the perfume and cosmetics guys do, but that's changing as well a little bit, and that's one of the things that we would like to do, and we've been doing a bit of taking some of the space that might have been full of a whiskey or a champagne in the past and putting wines in front of people.
And I know that education's a big challenge in wine. What are you doing in store to educate in terms of the wine consumer?
We start with the shop staff, because there are shop staff who are very, very knowledgeable, and you can go to some shops they know an awful lot. So we do quite a lot of training with the staff, and then we've been doing a lot of tastings. Tastings, we know that if we have somebody stood there, that they're probably not going to pay their wage for the day. But it's about making wine more accessible. It's a risk. It's such a fragmented category, and people think they know a lot about wine, but very often they don't. So if we can help them and tell them, then they're very easily persuaded.
And you've obviously got a great portfolio of brands. Which are your brands are you seeing most dynamic growth on at the moment in the sector?
Hardy's is growing very well, and that's partly because I'm getting access to all the wines that I need across the portfolio that might have been kept in Australia and sold to Australians only for a while. Yeah. You know how that works, but that's made a big difference. So taking Hardy's into levels that people have never understood that they exist. Yeah. You know, Eileen Hardy. I think Stephen Spurrier described it as the White Grange of Australia. Quite a different price point, but it was, you know, there's a lot to discover. So Hardy's is going very well. Flagstone Wines and Mudhouse, so South Africa, New Zealand, all pretty good as well.
So now that I've left Treasury, I can talk about my love of Mudhouse as a brand. That's obviously going very well for you, both domestically and internationally.
I was so delighted when we got that in the portfolio, because I had lost several tenders domestically in Scandinavia to Mudhouse when I was selling something else, and so great to have that in the portfolio. The wines are fantastic, and we've been able to go out and grow that right from we've only had it a year, and it's going great guns and winning some great tenders as well.
Yeah, and very good. And we talked a lot this week about some of the challenges facing travel retail. Retailer consolidation is obviously one of those. Is that impacting you positively, negatively?
I don't think it's when anybody consolidates, whether it's a supplier or a retailer. There's inevitably some degree of what might be perceived as inertia as things get sorted out. Things have to get sorted out. People's structures and jobs and lives are going to change, and so you have to accept that. And we just crack on and try and talk to whoever's there and who's ever's involved. Yes, I'm sure it's affecting us in a little way, but nothing drastic.
Well, that's good to hear. And I guess final question in terms of the next 12 months, in terms of challenges and opportunities. What are the biggest opportunities that face you in Accolade?
I think geography and distribution. We had a very strong European business, and I've been asked to go out and replicate that and grow in parts of the world where we've never even tried in the past. And so we're making gains all around the world, and every day I get a message or an email to say we've got listings here or listings there. And so growing in Asia, in Australia, in the Americas, that will be important for us, but equally there's still a lot to go for in Europe.
Brilliant. Look, Rupert, thank you very much for your time. As you know, the Moodie Report very focused on the development of the wine category and also the wine journey of many individuals, so make sure you take a read of that on the Moodie Report. And Rupert, thank you very much for your time. Cheers.
Thank you.